Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
So far today, we have seen snow ranging from very little in some areas to over a foot. Wind gusts of over 45 miles per hour, drifts up to 3 to 9 feet, drifts, zero visibility. We'll continue to be impacted by this blustery weather well into the evening. Let's head right over to Hutch Johnson to find out about that. Hutch?
Well, when travel gets this tricky, even in and around our communities, the FM area inclusive, it is certainly even worse in open country. Numerous road closures as well across the valley, including interstates in both Minnesota, portions thereof in North Dakota as well. The new snowfall is wrapping up, although we do have some showing up on the radar. Most of what you're seeing out there is lofted snow and blowing snow, and it is reducing visibility to near zero in many locations. There's a closer look at that band of snow spreading from north of Grand Forks right through the FM area and down toward the South Dakota border. The blizzard warning, it does continue until at least 9 o'clock tonight for the Red River Valley counties of Minnesota and North Dakota. Valley City also in a blizzard warning. The red counties you see there, winter storm warnings, including Lemoore County, Ellendale, and then much of northern Minnesota and the Twin Cities within the envelope of that winter storm warning. This is going to be replaced as we go through the overnight and into the early hours tomorrow by a wind chill warning for dangerous wind chills. Here's the forecast. This is what we're looking at. I put wind speeds on here. The small white numbers, Fargo, 26 mile per hour winds this evening, gusting to around 30 to 40 miles per hour as we go through the evening. We set this into motion by 10 o'clock. The winds gusts become less, upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour, but that's still strong enough to cause problems on roads. It does not really diminish until morning, and that's going to drive wind chills down into the 35 to 50 below category and air temperatures to near 20 below for many of us across the valley and eastern North Dakota. So it's going to be slightly improving, but even in the morning, it will be tricky to travel because all night long, the wind will be sustained at about 15, gusting to 25 or 30. So there'll still be the blowing drifts, the pillow drifts, and reduced visibilities throughout the evening.
And plows are doing the best they can, but they may not get to your area in the
Exactly.
morning. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Hutch. And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. All you need to do is search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. Both Cass and Clay County snowplows were pulled off the roads this morning around 11 o'clock, and officials say they most likely will not head out again until the winds die down. So how do emergency crews get to you if you get stuck somewhere or need medical attention in winter weather like today? Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the Cass County Sheriff's Department today to find out.
It's some of the worst winter visibility Sheriff Jesse Johnner has seen in a while. And with plows pulled from the roads, getting around can get tricky, but not for these guys.
So if we do get a call somewhere where we have a road that's impassable, we would send the plow out ahead, and then we could follow, that road plow and get emergency medical services to whoever needs it.
But if an accident happens where a plow can't clear the way, the county also has emergency snowmobiles ready to go,
so that we can get to people if we need to.
The county also uses ATVs, but when things get really tricky,
we also have our airboats, and our airboats actually can work in these conditions. They can go over, operate in snow conditions over fields, roads, and things like that.
But Johnner adds the airboats will only roll out if there's a medical situation.
If we could transport that person on the snowmobile and they were able to be transported, we would do that. But if not, then we would use one of these to go out and get that person.
Johnner and a crew of officers were stationed in West Fargo today with a snowplow, ambulance, and the emergency snow vehicles ready to head out at any moment.
We're hoping that they don't have to be used, but there's a possibility.
Saying a small crew is always stationed when there's winter weather like today.
Because we don't want to start with one of our patrol vehicles and get halfway there and realize that we can't get there and now have to come back and get this equipment because it adds to the response time.
In West Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
At this time, there's no word on when the plows will be back up and running, but stick with Valley News Live to learn that when they'll be back on the roads. A couple from Larimore, North Dakota lost their home and a family pet after a fire started in their basement. Authorities say the call came in yesterday around 7 in the evening. When crews arrived, flames were engulfing the basement. A couple living there was able to escape along with 2 of their pets. One cat was unconscious, but emergency crews revived it. Another cat was found dead. The Red Cross is now helping out that couple. The cause is under investigation. Polk County officials are warning the public about an ongoing scam in this area. The grandparents scam is when the scammer pretends to be a grandson or granddaughter of the caller and asks for money because they were arrested or assaulted. If you get a call like this, double check with family members to see if it's true. The Polk County Sheriff's Department says several people have lost thousands of dollars from this scam, so you're encouraged to call them if you get a call like this. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has signed an executive order granting an hours of service waiver for drivers of commercial vehicles that are transporting propane. The waiver will allow carriers and drivers to spend more time delivering propane to businesses, farms, ranches, and households to meet the heating needs during our current cold spell. The waiver will remain in effect until February 17th. It's now getting easier for businesses to file paperwork with the state. That includes filing license renewals, annual reports, registration, and more. Secretary of State Al Jaeger says the process to get this going started in 2015 with funding from the legislature. 4 years later, they're now working on sending out letters with PIN numbers to hundreds of thousands of businesses and contractors all over the state. It will allow the office to move away from a paper-based system to an online-based system.
It's designed to be very user-friendly, and so again, once we get people past this initial stage, I think they're going to find that it's going to work very well for them.
Jaeger says the first round of letters went to contractors because their licenses have to be renewed by March 1st. As of yesterday, they've had about 1,700 of about 11,000 contractors already submit their applications. Accidents all over the metro today thanks to the winter storm. Portions of I-94 and I-29 are closed in North Dakota. Highway 10 also in Audubon, Minnesota. But some daring drivers are still venturing out on area roads. We're keeping track of road conditions for you. So let's go live to Valley News Team's Maddie Jelseth. Maddie, how's it looking out there right now?
Hey Andrea, it is terrible out here. Check this out. I'm about 5'10". This snowbank is like 2-3 feet taller than I am. And these snowbanks are all over. I'm on 47th Avenue and 10th Avenue over here in Fargo. And look at this house. The snowdrift pushed against this person's house. His windows are covered and his doorway is covered. He's trapped inside. His garage is also covered. This is the conditions that are outside. And obviously he can't get outside, which is good because I don't recommend anybody to go outside in this weather. It's making for some terrible driving conditions. The snow's just getting whipped around everywhere across the roadways and it's slippery underneath the snow. So stay inside and be like this guy, start hibernating, I guess. I don't know how he's gonna get out, but looks like he's having a good vacation. But just stay inside, you guys, and the roads are bad. Like I was saying, we actually drove around on University, 13th Avenue, and these roads have not been plowed like Bailey was saying in her story. The plows got pulled earlier this afternoon. And the snow and the wind is just continuing to whip down and coming down and just swirling against the roadways. Stay inside, stay warm, and be careful out there. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Maddie. No travel advisories are still in effect in southeastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. Also, some flights at Hector International Airport were delayed or canceled today, and that left the NDSU track team stranded at the airport for over an hour. They were on their way to a meet in Tennessee.
Definitely disappointed because Nashville was supposed to be a little bit warmer than Fargo, but you just deal with the situation as it comes. So we're going to go to South Dakota and race there instead.
Now, before you leave for the airport, make sure you check in to see if your flight has been canceled or delayed. We have a link right there on your screen, fargoairport.com. Apple has just released a patch for the group FaceTime bug that allowed users to eavesdrop on conversations before even the recipient answered the call. Users can now install a software update, iOS 12.1.4, and return to a secure group FaceTime. However, for users still running earlier versions, group FaceTime will remain deactivated. The rollout is just beginning, so don't panic if you don't see it right away on your iPhone or iPad. To get that update, open Settings, tap General, choose the software update, and then select Download and Install.